Hi everybody, this is Frankie from Vibrant Center for Voice and Movement. I'm thinking of you all. I'm going to dedicate this video to Rachel, who recently sent me a message letting me know that she's watching these videos and which videos she was getting a lot out of. And so hi Rachel and hello to everybody else. Today I want to explore the idea of moving and then coming down into settling. So I am a Butoh dancer and a performance artist. I'm also a voice teacher, predominantly a Fitzmaurice Voicework teacher, but I also have some training in Kirsten Linklater's work and Patsy Rodenberg's work. I am a physical theater trained performer, and so I use a lot of Le Bon and Feldenkrais and a whole bunch of different approaches. But definitely Butoh is a favorite of mine. It's a form that I use a lot in my crafting my performances, and also I find that the Butoh provides such a beautiful complement to the Fitzmaurice voice work in how they seem to complement each other. I'm just looking down and I'm noticing I have something. I have like props and things all over my room. Okay, and socks. This is a very well used space for teaching and for my own practice. There we go. So what I'd like you to do, where I'd like you to start, is have your feet hip distance apart. That might be 2/5 apart. And I was working this morning with a client, and she was talking about how her head was starting to feel quite heavy. Her neck was feeling like it was working really hard. And so where we started was, I want you to imagine that you have a puppet string pulling up your head, and that everything else in your body is simply hanging from your skull. So there's no muscular effort here. Let your jaw hinge and let it hang, and let your tongue give into gravity. And find your breath. And check in with your knees, that your knees are soft and that your glutes aren't clenched. As you're just hanging from this puppet string. And now I want you to connect to an energy ball that's just about 2 or 3 inches below your belly button, and then about 2 or 3 inches inside your body. So feeling that center. So you have a puppet string, and then you have this silver ball of energy inside. Everything else is just hanging, letting go as you breathe. And now imagine that the puppeteer above you is just releasing that string just a little, and you can feel yourself starting to move towards the ground, and then the puppeteer slowly pulls that string back up, release back down as the puppeteer lets out some length in that string, and then follow that string back up so that you're moving from your skull and you're just relying on the joints of your body. This doesn't take any muscular effort. And breathe as you do this. And what does the pelvis have to do here as you move down to the ground? Stay with that silver energy ball and that thread held by the puppeteer, and follow in your own time. So don't feel like you have to keep pace with me as you're experiencing the puppeteer letting some length in that thread, letting you move towards the ground, and then starting to gently pull on that thread. And feel your feet now, the underside of your feet connected to the ground. as you breathe. Puppeteer string, that silver ball of energy, and your feet connected to the ground as you breathe in and out in your own time. And then the next time that puppeteer gently draws that string back up towards the ceiling, come back to hanging. Find your breath. Let go of your glutes, soften your knees. And now just find a very gentle bounce. So you're bending and straightening the knees just a little here. Let the jaw hang. And breathe. And now connect to the image that your body is a bag of water. And as you're bouncing, this water is sloshing all through the skin. So you have no muscles anymore. Your body is a bag of water. And you can explore different qualities of bounce. I like to call these little fast bounces. You could do big, slow bounces. But experience what it's like to let your muscles go and just be a big bag of water. And explore some different speeds here. Let the jaw go. And breathe. And then let that bounce get a little smaller. And a little smaller, and a little smaller, until you can still feel your water moving around in your skin, but perhaps to an outside observer, you appear to be still. Beautiful. And now I want you to think of a wagon wheel. And so I want you to move your hips along this wagon wheel. So feeling the hips come up and around, and then dropping up and around and dropping. And exploring this again in your own time. And you can even come up on the balls of your feet. Let the jaw go. And you can even move around. Up and around, pushing up on the balls of your feet, letting the jaw go. And as you're engaging your pelvis in this way, just noticing that there may be something else happening in the head. And you can also have one foot forward and one foot back. And then reverse, and you might find that one way was easier than the other. Breathe. And let your exhale have some sound. And yes, your thighs might burn, and that's exactly right. And now come back to bouncing and feeling how your bag is a big sack of water. I don't know if I said the words right. Feel how your body is a big sack of water. There we go. Let the jaw go. Let the brain disconnect a little. That's why sometimes speaking and sounding intelligent while I'm doing this work can be a bit of a challenge as I'm going into it. And exhale with sound. And then let that get a little smaller, and a little smaller, and a little smaller, until you feel that the waters are still moving around the inside of your body, but perhaps to an outside observer you look still. Find your breath. Let your jaw go. And now explore that wagon wheel in your chest. So using your ribs like you used your hips. Exploring, moving around that wagon wheel. Let the jaw go. Exhale with some sound. And you can also bring the toes in if you'd like, or stay here with your feet on the floor, and then explore the other way. One way might be easier than the other. Let the jaw go, disconnect the brain. And then come back to bending and straightening the knees a little, shaking your water bag. And as part of this, you might spring a leak in an arm and shoot some water up through that arm, and then let that arm go. Letting the arms go in any direction. Let the jaw release. Don't try to be the smartest person in the room. Just shake that bag of water and let there be a leak sprung. Let the arms move at different times. And then let that go. Let that get smaller and smaller. And let's take a big audible exhale here. Beautiful. So for anyone who is unfamiliar with that, I have some people to thank. That's Noguchi or water body. And whether you like Butoh or not, I find that the practice of Noguchi is really valuable in being able to let go of tense muscles. And if we're in very fixed working postures or experiencing a lot of tension, a lot of rigidity, this is a beautiful way to start to let that energy start to flow and let the body start to balance itself out. A big thank you to Yokko and Rosin and Asheville Butoh, some of my other teachers, Gabby, Tess de Quincey, so many, and I'll put them in the video description as well. But if this is something that you're interested in, I will be offering a few more little nibbles of this type of work, but also a reminder with voice, with acting, with movement, with any of the type of coaching that I do around anxiety. Hi, Susan. As lovely as videos are and as lovely as books are, it's really important to be able to get some feedback from a real human being who can look at you and who can work with you at your own pace and help to expand your range and grow your skills by facilitating your own experience. So thank you all again. I think I'm trying to balance out moving with something a little bit more meditative or still. So now that we've been moving around, let's just take a moment to land here. Find your breath. And when I say find your breath, I simply mean notice that you're breathing. Notice where in your body your breath is. Take a moment to notice something that you can see, that your eyes might like to look at. What's around you that can support you? What's around you that gives you pleasure? Take a moment to notice what your ears can hear. What's the most subtle sound that you're aware of? And then let's circle around to the heart. Take a moment to notice where in your body you can feel the sensation of your heart beating. And then let that go in 3, 2, 1. Hi everybody. It's been so lovely to come on and play. Everyone who is watching this video now and who will be watching this video at another time, you are all part of a moment, of a community that is more than just time and physical place. I'm holding all of you in my heart. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you again soon.